Hello, everyone. I'm Joe. Nice to see everyone. If you actually happen to see this recording, or I should say this stream, here we are. I'm just going to lower this a little so that it's more in the background, and I'm just going to go to one link, and because I've got something to share with folks, because why not? Let's see. Present. Share screen. Let's see. Yeah. As you can see, Victor Tempestson. This is my new novella, because it's only 70 pages long. It's only available on Kindle right now. I'm trying to get the printed book up, just requiring a little bit of formatting and whatnot, and talking with Drafted Digital. So if you like fantasy and horror, check it out. I'll be putting it back up at the start, and I'm gonna have to post in the link down below in the comment section later. But yeah, just thought I'd share that. Let's see. Now we're going to move to share screen, application window. And the problem I have with this current, here, I'll just move that. With this quest is that I don't really remember doing much. It's been so long. And I don't think I've got the file really on hand. So with everyone's permission, I'm thinking maybe I restart and we basically go back and I start a French quest. But either a French quest or, I don't know, I try fleshing out a different dynasty or something. Because I use Crusader Kings 2 for world building. And as anyone who knows me knows. And so it's a case where, yeah, I don't rightly know where to start. I just start over. Now, to begin with, let's see. There's a lot of Celtic in my world, but there's... Okay, you know what? Let's go French. Moi, je suis français. I am French. Hail to a nice young Frank. Or do I really want him bald? Good enough for me. No, like... Why is it? Let me see this. Oh. Okay. Let's see. What if I go 4? Fleur de lis. Ah, you know what? Let's go with this. Okay. What if I want to change this? No, I don't want it squared like that. I want to change the fleur de lis color. Oh, I like this background music. C'est Noël. I love Christmas. This seems a little Christmassy. Yeah, let's go for it. What is that? Clément. Pierre Clément. Yeah, okay. Let's make him fertile. Okay, we gotta add some stuff to him. And remember, I do cheat, so like tough cookies if you don't like that. I know, I'm not supposed to cheat, but see, I'm not actually a very good gamer. That's not a secret. So, actually, you know what? Screw it. This works. Jouer. Désactiver. Yeah, so in terms of history, I'm setting this up in 869, I think, which was a pretty violent era. Arguably, this era could be best described as France's warring states period, akin to that which was to haunt China during several eras, and Japan's Sengoku Jidai. The thing is, this was a very, very, it wasn't a fun time to live in, if I'm being honest. And it was an era where, well, it's the Viking Age. It wasn't fun for anyone. Only Constantinople had a great time. And even then, okay, this should be good. So, yeah, it wasn't a fun time for anyone. And it was a remarkably bloody period. Now, trouble was that that it didn't seem, the kings and emperors did not seem like they could really do much or had much interest in interfering in a lot of places. I mean, Paris was pretty much sacked at one point and was nearly lost. But the trouble was, there wasn't much the king could do. So, as the Carolingians waned and their authority waned with them, the situation came to be one that okay, I wasn't sure if I got that right. I was just thinking marrying into the Scottish royal line. Huh. Okay. Not much of a prize. Now am I? Doubtless there's going to be some guy in the chat or the comment section who's going to go, no, duh. Figure that one out on your own. Yeah, I know. But she's pretty good diplomatically. She's got a high diplomacy. That could serve me well. Let's just max this. Let's go family for a bit. I will need Tilly 12. So I never allow them to wander around armed. Hold on. Let's go here, send you to research. And we just keep an eye out. So, yeah, this was the Warring States period of France, which arguably you'd rather be in England at one point in this era, because as England came to meld together, generally there was a lot more peace than there was in, let us say, France. And England, under the Wessex dynasty of those descended from Aelfred, though at one point not very strong, it wasn't caught up in civil war, like caught up in regional factions like France. And the trouble is that France was to see a great deal of internal strife and violence, as I said, but it wasn't just throughout the 9th century. Now, arguably, this really began after Louis le Pieux, ou le Débonnaire, was to basically be dethroned by his sons. This showed the status of emperor to be one that is weak. You can do whatever you want. So why should you obey the emperor? And this was not good. And the direct result was that more and more barons began to do as they pleased. I hope I don't game over lickety split. The result was that France was on her knees to an extent by the early 10th century, I mean. And from there, the Rebeltiens, those descendants of Robert le Fort, were to start to exert their strength. Parce que Ed, the defender of Paris who saved it, was to prove that you could rely on someone other than the king and the emperor for protection. Namely, the Comte, or plutôt, the Comte de Paris, who was later to earn the rank Duc de Francia. So these local strongmen were to start to exert ever more strength over the crown. Now, they were Carolingians because they were descended for the female line from Charlemagne, having interbred pretty frequently eventually with the Carolingians. and they became the power behind the throne over the course of the 10th century. Now, from there, they under Hugues Capet, you had a shift that suddenly began as the kings began to become more ambitious. Now, they were, how shall I put it? They were restricted to like this area here, you see here. Then they kind of began to go ever more like in a kind of area like that or something. And they kept trying to break into Normandy, didn't really succeed. They tried breaking into Aquitaine, but they only did so when they felt comfortable. But every king had to, how shall I put it? Had to had to kind of regrow his authority, because the truth of the matter is that they were very limited in authority at the beginning of each of their reigns, because the barons would decide to test their luck every time, and each king had to restart from scratch. Now, eventually, under Philippe le Premier, this began to change. In Philippe, now that said, the kings before Philippe were not weak men; they were very strong men, and they were exerting more and more influence. And the thing is, they were very clever, because they began to say, well, the kingship is a ceremonial office, because everybody kept telling them it's a ceremonial. We don't actually show you respect. And they said, okay, yeah. But then eventually they were able to accrue so much of a sacrosanct kind of position that, it became secular to an extent, or at least had secular influence. And thus you had a growth in kingship. It was pushed into a religious role, but then the Capetiens were able to combine that with being the most powerful robber barons of sorts, linking it together and giving themselves a certain authority over everyone else. At first ceremonial, then they grew it. Under Philippe le Premier, they began to test themselves ever more, with kingship being tested as a actual office worth a darn. Now, for example, Henri le Premier was known as Henri Castlegrabber, Preneur de Chateau, because he was such a good military general. But the thing is, he was like Rebel. I think it was Der, his father. The two of them had to restart from scratch to some extent, and they had their defeats and their setbacks. But Philippe was able to really kind of start to push things more and more towards the end of his reign. And he was backed up by a really, really powerful crown prince, Louis le Glorieux, or Louis le Gras. And Louis Louis VI was a remarkable king. No, wait, let me think. Yeah, I think it was Louis VI. And Louis was a remarkable monarch and a force of nature, in my opinion, because he hammered all the barons in the royal lands down beneath him, and was able to go so far as here without too much trouble to an extent eventually. And he managed to secure for himself Aliénor d'Aquitaine, who was lady of probably, like, I think this area here, d'Aquitaine et Poitou. And the thing is, he connected her to his son. Now, arguably, this match didn't work because Louis's son, Louis, was an idiot. Louis VII was not a very successful monarch. And Philippe Der was the real powerhouse again. Philippe Auguste basically extended royal authority over every inch of France. Then his son Louis VIII went and died like an idiot. Then Louis IX, Saint Louis of blessed memory, was to prove himself an incredibly powerful monarch, an incredible king. Alors, après lui, you have Philippe III, who was a pretty good monarch, but he took too much interest in the Spanish Peninsula. Didn't really accomplish anything because of that. And then you had Philippe IV, Le Bel, who was just the last strong ruler and great man of the main lineage of Capet. After that, I went to the Capet Valois, and then from there, Capet Bourbon. And then it would technically go to Capet Orléans. So, yeah. I don't know if this is boring the one person who's watching over on Twitch. I hope you're well. I just noticed that someone's there. And yeah, so yeah, so that's the nature of Faust's Warring States period. I call it that just because it is what it was. It was an incredibly unpleasant time period. It wasn't fun for any involved, but it was an incredibly important era in the development of France as a nation, and an incredibly important era in the development of the people of France. And I've actually ordered a few books for this era. L'Histoire de la Peuple de France from the 1950s. I've heard it's quite good. It was about $100 for 5 large volumes. And I'm hoping to send that on ahead with me to just checking out. Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure for a minute. Okay. So, yeah, incredibly important era. And it's one which, to an extent, arguably, we still feel the effects of 1,000 years later. Sure, why not? And arguably, France is still a Christian nation, also because of this era. Parce que the people became Christian after Clovis, and the element of Christianity established by Clovis and strengthened by Charles Martel was to remain. And so there's nothing more French than being Catholic, or at least Christian. Even when you have a non-Catholic pope, so to speak, such as Bergoglio, who has very little Christian in him. And I'm just candid with my opinion because at this point I don't think it's a great shock to anyone to call Bergoglio a failed pope. And I've heard some go so far as to say that they consider the seat to be empty. And I'm inclined to agree. He's probably the worst person to occupy St. Peter's throne in all of history. So, yeah, and I am a Christian, so to me, it is what it is. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not terribly fond of Bergoglio. But such is the long defeat of history. And I only comment on the long defeat because I'm a bit of an adherent to that theory, where the more history progresses, the lesser people become, to some extent, it seems to me. I don't know. And if you call me a cynic or a pessimist, that's fine. I consider myself just a disappointed idealist. Now, I think that our historic figures are becoming lesser, but I think that people are people have always generally been good people, and that um, I don't know. I have faith in humanity, and I do love my fellow man. So um, maybe I'm just an oddity. I don't know, but still, we live in a very depressing era, and I think um, might as well enjoy what you enjoy and be friendly with your neighbors. Oh, yay! Wife's pregnant. Um, but I don't consider it my duty to preach to my audience. When I'm over with the um, when I'm over on the history corner in any capacity, my job's to educate, because I'm in the role of historian, or at least history podcaster, and thus I have a duty and a responsibility. Um, when gaming, I'm supposed to entertain. Just get someone wall. Sure, why not? Although these days I do think it'd be interesting if we had a Napoleon or Charles de Gaulle running around in France or something. I don't know. I know that's a weird thought and hope, but yeah. Mélisande Clément. Um, no. I guess move on now. No. I can't really see the names. Églantine, Orangarde, Alice. Pourquoi pas Alice? I'll go for Alice. I like Alice. Ah, she's got a clubfoot. Who could ever want that in a daughter? I'm joking. Actually, that makes it sound like who could ever learn to love a beast? Now, as far as my novels go, my French ones are centered at the moment either in a Silmarillion type ancient past to, well, ancient even for my world. And the idea is that I'm mostly writing in French in two separate eras. One is an ancient Elfic Silmarillion type era, the Elder Days of sorts. What I'm also writing in is something akin to a Warring States or a Three Kingdoms type period for a kind of fantasy version of France, which the secondary world of mine, I've currently got my Victor Tempestson novel, which is taking place pretty much in uh, something kind of like Hollande and whatnot. And, well, actually, not really. The character's from there, but Malcuilf, the main character, is sent around. Well, he's supposed to be headed to Scotland, but he ends up crashing. His boat crashes. So he drifts ashore and ends up having to deal with some local politics and local drama before setting off with his men for the north. And that's the entire novella. And yeah, so the novella is one that is only about 70 pages because I didn't see any point in stretching it out. And it's fantasy horror of sorts. I've got a few other books coming out soon, with the goal of, let me see, further fleshing out my world. Jeez, he's not going to be a great conqueror, is he? Yeah. Yeah, so, but as for what Dan and I have in the works, what Dan and I have in the works is a prequel to my magnum opus, which is called Brotherhood of the Gemstone. And this latter novel is really a work I intend to have published this coming year, but the trouble is the money. So probably gonna have to crowdfund that, depending on how well Victor Templeson does. And the truth is that the other okay, so we've got Victor Templeson that's out. The next book that we'll be coming out with is called Crown of Blood, which is a prequel to Brotherhood of the Gemstone. Crown of Blood is going to be about a civil war of a fantasy version of Scotland. We're namely the one that tore the MacAlpin dynasty of Scotland to pieces, or one could say Alba. And so, as you can tell, I'm very, very fascinated by medieval history and medieval literature. Huh. No fee. I mean, okay. Uh, huh. Let's see. Um, oh, let's see. Oh, David's harp. I believe that should put me on good terms with him. Yeah. Let's get him married. Let's hitch him to someone. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm basically running a dating service, I guess. Tabernacle. Let's see. So yeah. Piao is coming along pretty nicely. So, yeah. So this month for Nano Demo, I'm thinking though that maybe well, in the meantime, I will complete the revisions on several books we did in the first Nano Demo, and then I'm going to, well, in the meantime, I'm also going to do a Heracles Nano Demo, and that Heracles novel will be probably around 150 pages to 200 pages at most, I'm thinking. I don't want it to be terribly long. And I'm thinking probably doing about 10 pages a day. And hopefully that'll get it finished in about 15, 17 days. And then just, I don't know, revise it. And I'm also going to have to, excuse me, also going to have to be quite honest, I'm going to have to see about marketing the Victor Templeson book. Gonna have to between Victor, I'm gonna have to also see about translating my Hishimonogataari into English so that I could pass it along to a Japanese translator friend of mine. And maybe I should do about 5 pages a day of that, 2 or 3 pages a day. Although if I do 5, I could probably have the whole thing translated in 2-3 days. Maybe I'll do it that way. And then I'd I'd probably be able to pass it along to him by the 12th or something. And he could start translating it. And I could then get to work on examining the second chapter. I'd also be able to revise the first chapter, kick it into shape, and generally revise it a little as I go along with the translation, and make sure the French version is up to snuff. And then I'm going to post that on Substack, the French edition. And maybe after the French edition is posted, I'll upload the English one. And then I also have to work on Bear and Cub, our serial novel from Substack. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'll train her myself. She's my heiress. Okay, I gotta get him to actually do stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm kind of on break today, although I did do a bit of work on the movie script we wrote, just trying to do some edits on it that someone who proofread it for us suggested. So I also have to get that done tomorrow. And I gotta work on 5 pages for the Eshi novel. And also gonna have to see about prepping crowdfund. There's some paperwork that goes into it before you even touch the crowdfund, so to speak. Like you actually have to make sure your tax stuff is seen to, and you have a Stripe account, which I don't have a Stripe account. You know what? Let's get him out there. I really want that. Let's see. Maybe while it's working, I'll just try. View on YouTube. Excuse me. Let's move on. Kelsey. Sure. Huh. No. Yes, my wall was on. Okay, she's so screwed. Whoopsies. Well, she's probably going to be screwed anyways. I should have gone for a guy before. Let me see. Let's share this. Let's share it on Twitter. Okay, I'll just say. Forgot the hashtag. Whatever. Hmm. Just respond to European lore. Okay. I really can't understand if Anor just always pursuing one krill or another. Huh? I don't get it. Sorry, I'm just looking at something on Twitter and I'm just confused. People commented. Let's see. No. I'll just say you're welcome to Eleanor. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I'll just keep it simple. Let's see. There. Apparently, I prefer to keep my messages simple on Twitter. Apparently, that makes me, I think, a little boring in some people's eyes. I don't go on Twitter to fight with angry mobs of one political leaning or another. I really don't have the energy. I say what I think and feel. If people are friendly and take it well, they take it well. If they don't, they don't. It has nothing to do with me. And I think I'm probably leading a pretty boring Twitter account. And I share what I like, which is stuff from all over, or what my friends put up. Okay. Please let him get a freaking claim. Uh-huh. Ooh. Let's see. I'm going to cheat here. Yeah. Why not? Yay! There was much rejoicing. I really got to grow these channels so that I can actually have interaction. I'm just glad there's someone watching over on Twitch. I imagine I must have one of the more boring channels on Twitch because I don't really update it as often as I should. It's just hard to remember to stream sometimes because I'm just, well, real life is just so busy these days. Sorry. And it's a matter that I have to get a lot of real life stuff in order because, well, if I don't have that in order, what am I going to do? Sure, whatever. I don't care. To be honest, like I said, it's just been terribly busy building a platform on Substack and basically job hunting abroad because I want out of Canada. Means that a lot of time gets sunk into the stuff. And what I'm tired of is, oh dear, did she just die? Ah, crap. And she was carrying my air. That's my wall. Let's see if there's anyone from... no. Does anyone have... no female relatives. I'm trying to marry at the local level. No, a little too old for me. And again, age is just a number, isn't it? Let me see. Zit. Well, she doesn't seem like a very nice lady, but I might be able to get something out of marrying her, namely a political alliance. And I guess she's got proven fertility. Sure. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. And just like that, I've got a pretty darn good marriage planned for Amélie. I really need a son so I can marry off her. No. Great. I got a coward trait. That's a pain. Maybe I should have her raise the sun. Oh, great. And let's see. Okay. Probably oh, I just noticed I think this place is no longer infected. Okay. Let's see. Yay, let's hope this one survives. More disease. Okay. Let's try this and this. Come on. No, I won't even bother taking it off. Who cares? I have a son. Miss my wall. Nope. Agier. Antoine, Godefroy, Pierre, Thibault. You know what? I like Thibault. Yay! Let's see. Let's go to war. Yes. Booyah! So, yeah, that's good. Diligence is good. Let me see. I'm glad the chat currently agrees with everything I'm saying or not saying. I'm true. Let's see. My men are dropping like flies. Well, let's see. Holy mackerel! I have got to introduce someone to court. Oh, I can't. Okay. I am genuinely kind of screwed, I think. Let's go. Qu'est-ce que je vais faire? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, here, tell. Okay, this is getting to be too much. Let me see. Just going to check a few other things real quick. Actually, I'll check back on Twitter in just a minute. Because why not? Let's see if anyone replied to any posts I made regarding a novel. Again. I just cannot catch a break. Well, she's a princess. I'll do it. I'll take one for the family, that is. Okay. I cannot maintain this. Okay. I need to beef up my court. Holy Toledo. Holy mackerel. I hit the jackpot. Yeah, okay, now. Okay. Sure, why not? Okay. Okay. Déclarer la guerre. You know what? Let's just shoot. Wrong thing. Let's go. I should have hired some goons beforehand, but I'll just kind of. Okay, this guy's way too weak. Okay, I'm apparently, I think. Oh, whoops. I'm stronger, so I should go and lead from the front. Dans la tradition française, as it is French tradition. Going back to Clovis. Oh, you're trying to go around me. Yeah, that's not cute. It's not funny. It's actually incredibly mean. You shouldn't do that. At least not to me. All right, so here we are. Let's see, which one should I go for? Let's just go offense. It's the best defense. Oop. Let's go here. Maybe I should do a review of Lion in Winter at some point, if I haven't already. Just thought of that movie. It'd be a good movie to rewatch. Okay, seriously, you are getting annoying, bucko. And you know what? Dibs. Yeah, I build a lot of castles. Why not? Because later on, it's better than hiring mercenaries. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Do a tool. With his new wife. He's going for wives. That was not my plan. Oh, and of course now I get la revendication. Okay. Let's go for Poitou next. I'm going to turn on my liege lord. I'm not going to be very honorable. Ooh. Oh, no, I can't actually use him. I better use him. Let's go. And technically I should probably be drawing, but I've been in a funk for a few days. Let's check out Twitter. Oh, glad some people agree with me. Do I actually have messages? Oh. No. Let's see. Okay, we're almost at the autosave. I'm actually getting a little tired. I'm not used to gaming all that intensely. Yeah, so we're going to call it quits here. And we are going to stop. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And that'll be it. So don't forget to smash that like, that subscribe, and buy the novel. So do take care.